Now to get the bearings out of the wheel, it looks a little bit hard, but remember, we're working on a glorified lawnmower. This is not a 3/4 million ton Titan rock truck. Now what this consists of is a bearing on one side. There's a spacer in here, which has got the same diameter hole for the axle to go through. But if you take a little screwdriver on the inside spacer, and it's about probably this long, it will move a little bit inside here, and you can get a little grip on the bottom edge of the other bearing. And you slightly tap, 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 and it'll tap it out. Now remember that the bearings, both bearings, are going to be replaced. When they're put back in, all you have to do is put them in here, tap them down until they make a little thud sound, and don't forget the interior spacer, which is in there. Remember, these bearings are 26 years old, and if your bike starts to vibrate a lot when you're going down the road, then it could be your bearings, because that's where you'll notice it the most. Now the next thing we're going to do here, before I put the wheel back on, is I'm going to take these shock mounts, and I believe all that's in here is a spring and a tube, and that's it. And then of course we have our rubber caps here, which I've taken this side off, and I don't know if I can get replacement caps. It was leaking right here, but there may be some oil in here, I'm not sure. But for sitting that many years, it needs to be looked at. So I'm going to take probably a 14 millimeter wrench and take this off, and two 10 millimeter or socket, and this whole unit should drop right out. So let's see what we got with that. Now the guts of these little springs are held in with a snap ring, which is, if you'll see, it's right here. And what I have here on this little tool, snap ring tool, you hardly ever use them, but I'll tell you what, if you have to get a snap ring off, they're harder than hell if you don't have one. Now this tool is called an inner and an outer. What it means is that some snap rings, which are right here, you have to squeeze them together to pull them out. Others, you have to spread them apart to pull them out. It's kind of weird, but that's what it is. Anyway, I've loosened the bolt up here, but not all the way. This one I have loosened all the way, and the whole shaft is beginning to come out. And I notice I have a seal right here on the bottom. Wait, let's see. No, I guess, I'm sorry, it's not a seal. It's a small spring, but there's a larger spring up in there, I believe. There is. And I'm just doing this step by step to see what's going to happen. And if any of you have to go in and check your springs, remember that this bike, if you own one, everything on it is from 1985 or 86. It's 25 years old. So it's the grease and everything in here is that old. It's good to go in and do a little checking. Remember, this isn't the damn space shuttle. This is not my dream bike, which is I think a 2007 Hayabusa before they ruined the style on them. 2007, 2008 Hayabusa. It had a really cool hump in the back where it doesn't look like they've really screwed it up in the last few years. It's not a Hayabusa. It's a glorified damn lawnmower. So, Japanese made these front shocks very inefficiently. As far as, I mean, they're very efficient for what they are. The only problem with them is that the Japanese, Honda's like the Fram guy. You're going to pay me now or pay me later. But sooner or later, you're going to have to come back to me to get these specialized shock parts, which are fine. And I don't know exactly what this entails as far as what's in here. And that's a good thing about going to Bike Bandit and looking at their schematics, because maybe it doesn't show you how to take them apart or put them back together, but it will show you every part that is inside these tubes that you may not see. And that can really give you a good clue of taking something apart, especially when it's as simple as a little Honda gyro. So I'm going to pull these shocks out and see what they look like. And it's all new to me, so if I'm going to pioneer this, and if any other gyro owners are going to go and do maintenance on their bikes, I'm going to do maintenance on everything. I'm going to strip this down to the nuts. I may take the engine apart down to the crank just to look at it. It's not a big deal to me. I have time. It's not that expensive. The one thing that you cannot find on these, you cannot find the body parts here and here, and or the seat or any of this, or the back parts, or a lot of the stickers you can't find. But they do sell the bearings and the seals, and I just want to kind of take it apart and see what it's like. Someone had a gyro on YouTube that had a 65cc Polini cylinder kit that worked for a Honda Aero, A-E-R-O. And I'm not going to do that, but I guess you could upgrade it if you wanted to. There's probably a whole bunch of upgrades, but I'm going to keep this completely retro. I'm just going to keep it real cool and like that. Okay, I'm going to take the shocks out and lay them on the bench and see what we got.